First Chronicles Chapter 3. These were David's sons who were born to him in Hebron. Amnon was the firstborn, by Ahinoam of Jezreel. Daniel was born second, by Abigail of Carmel. Absalom, son of Maacah, daughter of King Talmai of Geshur, was third. Adonijah, son of Haggith, was fourth. Shephatiah, by Abital, was fifth. And Ephraim, by David's wife Eglah, was sixth. 6 sons were born to David in Hebron, where he reigned 7 years and 6 months, and he reigned in Jerusalem 33 years. These sons were born to him in Jerusalem: Shimeah, Shobab, Nathan, and Solomon. These 4 were born to him by Bathshua, daughter of Amiel. David's other sons: Ibhar, Elishua, Eliphalet, Noga, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Eliada, and Eliphalet, 9 sons. These were all David's sons, with their sister Tamar, in addition to the sons by his concubines. Solomon's sons was Rehoboam. His son was Abijah, his son Asa, his son Jehoshaphat. Joram, his son, Ahaziah, his son, Joash, his son, Amaziah, his son, Azariah, his son, Jotham, his son, Ahaz, his son, Hezekiah, his son, Manasseh, his son, Amnon, his son, Josiah, his son. The sons of Josiah: Johanan the firstborn, the second Jehoiakim, the third Zedekiah, the fourth Shallum. The descendants of Jehoiakim: Jeconiah his son, Zedekiah his son. And the sons of Jeconiah the captive: Shealtiel his son, Machiram, Pedadiah, Shenazar, Jechemiah, Hoshama, and Nedabiah. The sons of Pedadiah: Zerubbabel and Shimei. And the sons of Zerubbabel: Meshullam and Hananiah, and Shelomith was their sister, and Hashubah, Ohel, Berechiah, Hezadiah, and Jushab Hesed, 5. The descendants of Hananiah: Pelatiah and Jesaiah. And the sons of Rephaiah: of Arnan, of Obadiah, and of Shechaniah. The descendants of Shechaniah: Shemaiah and his sons, Hattush, Igal, Beriah, Neriah, and Shaphat, 6 in all. The sons of Neriah: Elionai, Hizkiah, and Azrikam, 3 in all. The sons of Elionai: Hodaviah, Elishib, Pelaiah, Akub, Johanan, Delaiah, and Anani, 7 in all. First Chronicles Chapter 4. Judah's sons: Perez, Hezron, Carmi, Hur, and Shobal. Reiah, son of Shobal, fathered Jahath, and Jahath fathered Ahumai and Lihad. These were the families of the Zorathites. These were Etam's sons: Jezreel, Ishma, and Idbash. And their sister was named Hazelelpani. Penuel fathered Gedor, and Ezer fathered Hushah. These were the sons of Hur, Ephrathah's firstborn and the father of Bethlehem. Ashur fathered Tekoa, and had 2 wives, Hilah and Naarah. Naarah bore Ahuzam, Hefer, Temeni, and Hahashtari to him. These were Naarah's sons. Hilah's sons: Zereth, Zohar, and Ethnan. Koz fathered Anub, Zobeba, and the families of Arahel, son of Harum. Jabez was more honored than his brothers. His mother named him Jabez and said, "I give birth to him in pain." Jabez called out to the God of Israel, "If only you would bless me, extend my border, let your hand be with me and keep me from harm so that I will not experience pain." And God granted his request. Caleb, brother of Shuha, fathered Mihir, who was the father of Eshton. Eshton fathered Beth-Rapha, Paseah, and Tehina, the father of Einarhash. These were the men of Rekah. Kenaz's sons: Othniel and Seraiah. Othniel's sons: Hathath and Meonothai. Meonothai fathered Ophrah, and Seraiah fathered Joab, the ancestor of those in the craftsman's valley, for they were craftsmen. The sons of Caleb, son of Jephunneh: Iru, Elah, and Naam. Elah's son, Kenaz. Jehalalel's sons, Ziph, Ziphah, Terah, and Azarel. Ezra's sons, Jether, Mered, Epher, and Jalon. Mered's wife, Bethiah, gave birth to Miriam, Shammai, and Ishba, the father of Eshtemoa. And his Judean wife bore Jared, the father of Gedor, Heber, father of Soko, and Jekuthiel, father of Zanoah. The sons of the wife of Hodiah, the sister of Nahum, were the fathers of Keilah the Garmite and Eshtemoa the Maacathite. The sons of Shimon, Amnon, Rinnah, Ben-Haran, and Telon. The sons of Ishai, Zoheth and Ben-Zoheth. The sons of Shelah, son of Judah, father of Lekah, Lada, father of Marasha, and the families of the guild of linen workers at Beth Ashbea, and Joachim, and the men of Kozeba, and Joash, and Saraph, who married into Moab but returned to Lehem. The records are ancient. These were the potters and the inhabitants of Netaim and Gedera. They lived there with the kings in his service. The sons of Simeon, Nemuel, Jamin, Jared, Zerah, Shual. Shallum was his son, Mibsam his son, Mishma his son. The sons of Mishma, Hamuel his son, Zakur his son, Shimei his son. Shimei had 16 sons and 6 daughters, but his brothers did not have many children, nor did all their family multiply like the Judeans. They lived in Beersheba, Molada, Hazor Shual, Bilhah, Ezem, Tolad, Bethuel, Horman, Ziglag, Beth Markobath, Hasar Susim, Beth Birai, and Sha'araim. These were their towns until David became king, and their villages were Etam, Ain, Rimmon, Token, and Ashan, 5 towns, along with all their villages that were around these towns as far as Baal. These were their settlements, and they kept a genealogical record. Meshobab, Jamlech, Josha, son of Amaziah, Joel, Jehu, son of Joshabiah, the son of Seraiah, the son of Aziel, also Elionai, Jacobah, Jeshohaiah, Azaiah, Adiel, Jesimiel, Benaniah, and Ziza, son of Shiphi, the son of Alon, the son of Jedediah, the son of Shimri, the son of Shemaiah. The men listed above by name were leaders of their clans. Their families increased greatly, and they went to the outskirts of Gedor, to the east of the valley, in search of pasture for their flocks. They found rich, good pasture, and the land was spacious, peaceful, and quiet. Some Hamites had lived there formerly. The men whose names were listed came in the days of Hezekiah, king of Judah. They attacked the Hamites in their dwellings and also the Meunites who were there and completely destroyed them, as evident to this day. Then they settled in their place, because there was pasture for their flocks. And 500 of these Simeonites, led by Pelatiah, Neraiah, Rephaiah, and Uzziel, the sons of Ishai, invaded the hill country of Seir. They killed the remaining Amalekites who had escaped, and they have lived there to this day. 1 Chronicles Chapter 5. These were the sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel. He was the firstborn, but his birthright was given to the sons of Joseph, son of Israel, because Reuben defiled his father's bed. He is not listed in the genealogy according to birthright. Although Judah became strong among his brothers and a ruler came from him, the birthright was given to Joseph. The sons of Reuben, Israel's firstborn: Hanok, Palu, Hezron, and Carmi. Joel's sons: his son Shemaiah, his son Gog, his son Shimei, his son Micah, his son Reaiah, his son Baal, and his son Beerah. Beerah was a leader of the Reubenites, and King Tiglath-Pileser of Assyria took him into exile. His relatives by their families as they are recorded in their family records: Jael the chief, Zechariah, and Bela son of Azaz, son of Shema, son of Joel. They settled in Aroer, as far as Nebo and Baal-Meon. They also settled in the east as far as the edge of the desert that extends to the Euphrates River, because their herds had increased in the land of Gilead. During Saul's reign, they waged war against the Hagarites, who were defeated by their power, and they lived in their tents throughout the region east of Gilead. The sons of Gad lived beside them in the land of Bashan, as far as Salakah. Joel the chief, Shapham the second, Janai, and Shaphat in Bashan, and their kindred according to their clans, Michael, Meshullam, Sheba, Jorai, Jachan, Zia, and Eber, 7. These were the sons of Abihail, son of Huri, son of Jaroah, son of Gilead, son of Michael, son of Jeshishai, son of Jado, son of Buz. Ahai, son of Abdiel, son of Gunai, was chief in their clan, and they lived in Gilead, in Bashan and in its towns, and in all the pasture lands of Sharon, to their limits. All of these were enrolled by genealogies in the days of King Jotham of Judah and in the days of King Jeroboam of Israel. The Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh had valiant warriors who carried shield and sword and drew the bow, expert in war, 44,760, ready for service. They made war on the Hagrites, Jetur, Naphish, and Nodab. And when they received help against them, the Hagrites and all who were with them were given into their hands, and they cried to God in the battle. And he granted their entreaty because they trusted in him. They seized the livestock of the Hagrites, 50,000 camels, 250,000 sheep, and 2,000 donkeys. They also took 100,000 people captive, and many others fell slain because the battle was God's. And they occupied the land until the exile. The people of the half-tribe of Manasseh were numerous. They settled in the land from Bashan to Baal Hermon, that is, to Senir, Mount Hermon. These were the heads of their families: Epher, Ishai, Eliel, Azriel, Jeremiah, Hodaviah, and Jediel. They were brave warriors, famous men, and heads of their families. But they were unfaithful to the God of their ancestors and prostituted themselves to the gods of the people of the land, whom God had destroyed before them. So the God of Israel stirred up the spirit of Pul, king of Assyria, that is, Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, who took the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh into exile. He took them to Hala, Habor, Hara, and the river of Gozan, where they are to this day. John chapter 8. But Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. At dawn he went to the temple again, and all the people were coming to him. He sat down and began to teach them. Then the scribes and the Pharisees brought a woman caught in adultery, making her stand in the center. "Teacher," they said to him, "this woman was caught in the act of committing adultery. In the law, Moses commanded us to stone such a woman. So what do you say?" They asked this to trap him, in order that they might have evidence to accuse him. Jesus stooped down and started writing on the ground with his finger. When they persisted in questioning him, he stood up and said to them, "The one without sin among you should be the first to throw a stone at her." Then he stooped down again and continued writing on the ground. When they heard this, they left, one by one, starting with the older men. Only he was left, with the woman in the center. When Jesus stood up, he said to her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" "No one, Lord," she answered. "Neither do I condemn you," said Jesus. "Go, and from now on do not sin any more." Jesus spoke to them again. "I am the light of the world. Anyone who follows me will never walk in the darkness, but will have the light of life." So the Pharisees said to him, "You are testifying about yourself. Your testimony is not valid." "Even if I testify about myself," Jesus replied, "my testimony is true, because I know where I came from and where I'm going. But you don't know where I come from or where I'm going. You judge by human standards, I judge no one. And if I do judge, my judgment is true, because it is not I alone who judge, but I and the Father who sent me. Even in your law it is written that the testimony of 2 witnesses is true. I am the one who testifies about myself, and the Father who sent me testifies about me." Then they asked him, "Where is your Father?" "You know neither me nor my Father," Jesus answered. "If you knew me, you would also know my Father." He spoke these words by the treasury while teaching in the temple. But no one seized him because his hour had not yet come.